And ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Inspired Broadband Valorant Championship. We're back with our last day of the round of 16, I believe. And it's me, Kirito. Alongside me is Aggressive. We have a couple of matches in store for you today, and we're excited. It's been an exciting few days, and considering that this is only the round of 16 and this much energy, this much action in the tournament, we can't wait to see what else we have in store.
Absolutely. You did miss out on yesterday's fun. We did see a couple of very intense matches there. That is for certain. All-Stars really putting up a performance, but SL really did put a break on them because they took 7 rounds up against All-Stars, and having that up-and-coming roster really be able to perform like that, it was a sight to see. But sadly, you went to a wedding to go and fatten yourself up. Sadly, you will never have your own wedding.
I'm the real winner.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter, man. As long as we get to feast, that's the real.
Yeah, exactly. This man doesn't care to get married. He doesn't need a girlfriend. He just wants the food that comes from a wedding.
Exactly, that's the point. But we do have more teams in store today. Do you think that some of the teams that we've seen so far really stand a chance against maybe some of the bigger all-star teams that you talked about?
In a way, yes. But at the same time, I think the last 2 teams really have to show themselves to be... I would say we don't know exactly which teams are going to be playing just yet. We're going to be getting that information soon, and of course, it will be in front of our screens in just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, though, the members of Infuse versus Evolvers, we know who Infuse are. This particular team does have a couple of star talents that are turning into names that the community now knows about. But from the side of Evolvers, we do have to see what they have in store for us. Maybe a couple of new up-and-coming players. It's gonna be a game of rookies. That's kind of what happens at the very end of these round of 16 roundups, because at that stage, you start to figure out that, players are starting to come from the unknown a little bit, moving into those round of 8s. That's why we chose to start from round of 16, because it gives us an idea of what kind of players are really cooking up on these on the lower stages of the entire tournament and slowly working their way up. Now that we're able to see a couple of these up and coming teams, I have my sights set on a couple of them, but in this particular matchup, Infuse, knowing their track record, maybe they can take a map or so, but even then, in a best of 3, if it comes to that at least, they might not be a team to take a victory.
Yeah, and it's something you really can't prepare for, regardless of which stage you are in the tournament. You could be at the very first qualifying matchup and you're queued up with someone you've never heard of, and they turn out to be absolute legends and absolute demons on the game. So you have to not just carry through with that. You have to, as you progress in the tournament, come up with strategies, obviously agent compositions, your own strategies and defaults that you're going to use. And as you keep on progressing, you start more focusing on how you react based on your enemies, based on who you're facing, how they play, and come up with counter strategies. That's going to be how you really separate the teams that are thinking of, taking the tournament seriously, pretty much. If you have to try and reach these upper levels against these bigger teams, you have to take that strategic route and think forward instead of just being the aim demon you are. That does pay off. We've seen a lot of players that are just absolutely cracked. They don't care if they're like 5 enemies ahead. They walk in and they just pop heads. But that's only going to take you so far. We've seen that countless times. We've seen countless teams that have shared that trait, that they have extremely gifted mechanical players. But whenever they are put together in a team scenario against someone who plays together, plays with utility and covers each other, that is something that stands no chance. You have to have that ability to strategize within your players, within your teammates as well. So it's going to be bind for today in the match between Infuse versus Evolvers, and the attacking side will be Infuse for the first half. And we're not really seeing much of a diversity in the map. Did we have a different map yesterday? All we've gotten is Bind and Haven so far.
Yeah, we did see Lotus come up yesterday for one of the maps, so that
doesn't count.
Yeah. So, hey, we haven't seen Lotus in quite a long time. A lot of teams have been shying away from Lotus. Yeah, they've been shying away.
A few months.
The thing is, the thing is, think about it, Kirito. This entire map pool this time around, everyone just kind of hates it. Yep, Abyss, a map that no one wants to play. Fracture, a map that I despise with a burning passion in my heart. Pearl, which is right in the middle of these two, which is kind of ironic, right? Kind of in the middle of these two. Haven, a map that everyone loves, but some teams just really don't want to go on that map in particular. Split, another map that most people hate to love at the same time. And then there's Lotus. The entire map was just completely screwed this season.
What do you do at this point? Already 3 of the maps we do not want. Like who wants Fracture? Who wants Pearl? Who wants Lotus? Even I'd even take Pearl, to be honest. I don't mind Pearl. I feel like Pearl is a pretty interesting map for defenders. They have a lot of way to work around. We have this huge mid area. There's some interesting stuff going around there, but for now, we are going to be sticking to our old favorite Bind and the agent composition. This time, we're going to see a bit more traditional stuff. We're not going to see any kind of double... Oh, actually, we are seeing a double controller setup from Infuse, the Viper and the Brimstone. I love that little composition. We have the Viper wall coming down on the B side. And it gives room for any kind of sneaky play around with the Lurker through into U-Haul. The Raze as well for an explosive entry that you absolutely need. And on the opposition, we will have a more traditional setup with, I think, a double initiator composition. But with the new agents like Gecko coming in, that will make things interesting. The Raze will have a lot easier time taking these fights while popping into the site. So it's going to be interesting to see how these compositions clash as we head on right into the matchup. And just based on these agent selection, Aggressive, what are your predictions?
If Infuse are able to utilize this composition well, they should be easily the ones to take this victory. But then again, this composition just has so many nuances. I kind of understand what you mean by, hey, there's a lot more sneaky plays that you can go through with that Viper, but you also need to coordinate your comms well enough so that everyone's on the right page of when the wall's going to go up and go down. Plus, you can use those use the walls coming through from the Viper to even go in for flashes. You can pop flash out of the wall, flood your team in towards the side. There's so many different things that you can do, but again, you need to have that practice. You need to know what's going to be going on next. Otherwise, it's just going to fall apart.
Right now, with Infuse on the attack towards this A site, Cyborg's already in U-Haul, but not for long as Akashi's gonna finish him off. Spike does go down. It's a 4v4 situation actually, as Kraken has been taken down while the attack was going down. Counter smokes do come in, and there are no flanks. We have shower control for Infuse as well, so they have some room to work with, but this retake can be a little bit faster as the flashes come in, the raise nades are popped, and they're going to be walking in. Akashi's going to be clearing this lamps area. The satchel comes in, and they take the cake. Couple of frags, but they trade right back Infuse with a couple of their own. And with that, it's gonna be the last player to fall. Q's gonna be the one to take it out, and the first round going in favor of the attackers. Infuse with a 1-0 lead.
An early start here for the overall setup that they were going in for. These kind of slow methodical plays, it's what's really gonna be a requirement moving forward with this particular composition. But seems as though a couple of little UI bugs here, ladies and gentlemen. We're fixing that up as soon as we possibly can, but as we jump back down over in towards the game again, the overall setups coming through from the players is a little bit more different going into this round, as the defenders, they're going for much more of a slower playstyle in towards the back end of the side. A bit too much space is being given away because Evolvers are just stuck in a very precarious situation. They're trying to stall out the plant, yes, but as soon as that Viper wall comes back, don't forget, you're going up against a double controller setup. You're not going to be able to stall them out for long because they can instantly reclaim all the corners or all the avenues that you were trying to stop them from taking right after a placement of a smoke again.
Yeah, and the wall is placed up so on the far right, as we are going to see the spike go down. The bioweapons will give them the win. That was pretty much written on the cards, but with this Viper wall being placed so outside, there is some room for the defenders or Evos to play more proactively around, and they know for a fact now that the shower controls is a priority for the attackers. So Evos, they can keep that in mind as well, and even maybe use the Viper wall as a form of protection against showers. Maybe have just Sentinel utility piece there for information, but they can really be aggressive and proactive on this A short area if they want to. And right now, with the buy rounds coming in, the weapons in their hands, this is a perfect opportunity to test out this theory if they are to go for it. But they are going to be sticking for a more passive approach. They are going to keep shower controls for now, and a bit slower playstyle coming in.
I dropped the spike
From Infuse. So they did look to push towards A short again. Flashes will give some information on where these players are. On the other end, we do see Lunatic trying to poke some holes around the hookah area into the B site. But with the Cypher setup and the Astro smokes there, it won't be as easy being the only person pushing. Right now, 1 minute remaining on the clock. They are going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. They still have a lot of utility and all other players alive. So, Infuse might be going for another explosive push towards the side of A.
Just gonna need to wait and see where they're gonna be heading into now. Radif looking for first line of contact, heard out the shots, and they're gonna be able to find it one after the other. The members of EVO, with the stronger weapons that they do have, are able to take the advantage and shut down the members of Infuse before they can get into comfortable positions. That's what you really do want to see here, but even then, a little bit dicey to say the very least coming in from the attack. They tried to rush the execute, and now they're paying the ultimate price for it with their own lives.
Satchel out.
Yeah, with only a player alive, it's gonna be really tough to get out of this. They do get a frag onto Soup, but the trades are instant, and that will be the first round for Evos, and this will make this a 1-2 score line. Still in favor of the attacking side, and the weapons difference was a big factor. It would be ideal for them to maybe get the bomb plan down, to get some additional cash, get as many kills as they could for the extra bit of money, but they did the most they could. They will have enough for buys, I believe. Right now they will have all the utility pieces. They're going to be closer to their ultimates, so they can keep on with that super fast approach that they have been doing for the last few rounds. We did see last round they opted out of any kind of flash or explosive utility. They opted out from taking control of showers, and I feel like that is a sign of a storm, that they don't really tend to come up with a proper plan of pushing a site when they're put under the pressure of time. They did try to take things a bit slower. They did try to make a passive play as they're trying to poke towards B. They're trying to poke towards A short, trying to look for avenues, but when they saw those avenues were closed, they just went out straight for a very simple rush towards A short. They didn't have proper map control. They didn't have any picks going into that, and I feel like that might come back to bite them during the rest of the match if they fall into a similar situation. EOS look like a team that would certainly counteract against something like that. But as we do run into some technical issues, hopefully the match will get started, because these teams, they're sort of scratching my curiosity on how they're gonna roam around this map of Bind based on the few rounds we've just seen.
I do believe that the main thing that we need to witness from them has to be a little bit more proactivity from the members of Evolvers, because yeah, it's gonna work sometimes, right? We talked about this in the past, that you can play defensive inside of the site. Sometimes it's gonna work, but at other moments you're just starved of information. Your opponents catch you off guard. You start to lose a lot of gunfights. You're not mentally prepared to take most of those duels, and then you're just in a very uncomfortable position to win out the round. It's gonna be awkward, but initially, Evolvers, we hope they really do catch on to this quickly. A little bit of a pause, probably from our end, as well as they're trying to fix out any of the problems they possibly can. Infuse
I'm out of stock.
on the opposite end, though, on the attack side. This double controller setup allows them to have a little bit more leeway to go in for a much more differentiated play compared to their opponents, but even then, you can't always rely on stuff like this. Overall, though, like as you just did say, both of these teams might have very distinct playstyles that we don't really know about just yet, because once more, they're complete underdogs, both sides. They don't have a lot of data on them, so not really much that we can pull from. But for now, one of the bigger things that I want to see is maybe a little bit more of map control map control being done by Infuse here in this particular round. Maybe that's what they're exactly going in for too, because they need some info of how these players are playing from the defensive side, because the guns on their hands are not that prominent.
So right now we haven't really seen them explore that the B site area. They're not gonna be pushing A for the entire game. If they do, that's a terrible plan. But if they do decide to go B, they since they haven't been seeing any sort of cipher setups come in, they haven't seen that gecko flash while entering the site. They have to know that these two players do focus around that B site, and a utility-based agent like Cypher and someone who has such a strong kit like Gecko, they need to know how these players position themselves in the side of B. And you don't really have to explode onto the site for that kind of information. All you need is have a lurker in the early round, move around, explore some of these areas, give them a few open peaks, a few jiggle peaks, and just give them a sense that there are players outside your doors, there are enemies at the gates. So they don't have that peace of mind that we can just rotate because they're pushing A this entire round. And on the other half, you're gonna know how these trips are placed. So you're gonna have some additional information, and that will save a bunch of time when you're pushing the B site. You'll know which places to pre-fire. You'll know which angles to destroy, to take down those tripwires, which are gonna be such a thorn for Cyborg while he's using his satchels on the site. Looks like that could be the case, as we are going to see a more evenly spread out Infuse roster all over the attacking side of this map. Spike's going to be dropped in the middle, and no urgency at this point whatsoever. That's completely fine, as just looking for some information. As he said, map control, find some opening picks. That's a great strategy to go for. And so far, EVOS, they are not going to be going for any kind of proactive plays either. Rather, I feel like they are confused themselves because of this switch up. They're unsure of which site to protect as they are moving around the map. We see a rotation coming in from the Raze already. He's gone from B to A. Sorry, A to B, my bad. And this seems to be working out. Infuse playing mind games.
This is such a slow strategy coming out from them too. I get it, they're playing for map control, but look at the members of Evolvers showing so much discipline here. Not even a single sound being given by either one of these teams, so the attackers have no idea what site they need to go into. First contact already being made. Akashi being able to shut down Mulodek. A couple of whiffed shots here from Infuse. Already not looking that good for them. Two could be on the cards. This is the buy round, mind you, for the attackers, so winning this one will be very crucial for them. Will not being forced onto an eco. Akashi again, big frag for him. He gets the 3. Kraken is there to give him the backup, and pretty much warranted. Maybe a victory here indeed. Cyborg doesn't have the time, doesn't have the spike, but he does have the kills to make it work. Beautiful shots coming out from this one player as Infuse. They do have the raw mechanical skill to do it, but
Hopefully that's enough.
I don't know, dude. Having the aim, it's not enough if you don't have the time to get that spike plant down. They need to plan out these rounds a little bit better, otherwise they could be falling like flies.
It was a decent start to the run for either team. We see Infuse just having that map control, figuring out how the positioning of the defenders is, where they are stationed. And if only that pick onto Raze worked out, this could have been a very different round. I believe it was Lunatic who sort of missed out on that shot. The rest of the team were already here off the rotation. Could have been a massive round for Infuse, but EVOS, good reaction to that, as we are going to see them being tested again on this A side as the explosion towards lamps are coming in. King with the kill with a stinger. Limited weapons because of the last round loss. The Raze nade comes in to deny time. Counter Raze nades and heals are going to be coming in from the attacking side. Spike has not gone down yet, as there is an opening. Charge control is established. The retake players are here, but they cannot They are denying the spike plan for now. And again, the race set comes in, the ultimate. Akashi will find the kill. Spike is on the ground. And right now, it's utter chaos in this side. They don't know where anyone is. The smokes fade and the gunshots begin. Soup with a couple of kills. They know where King is. They're gonna push him out of there and put him on the spot for this 1v2 scenario.
30 seconds left.
Knows where one of the players are. Towards CT. Doesn't know about the raise. Akashi could be the winner here. Not even needed. Q will get the shot onto King, making this a 2-2 scoreline. Both sides on even Steven terms.
Oh, a pretty good setup coming out from them too. Smart, systematic, and cool, calm, and collected. The members of EVOs running the high for this one. Now the buy's coming back once again for the members of Infuse. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly a 2-2 scoreline, or is this a 3-2? Never mind, it's a 2-2 because the buy round's coming through from the members of Infuse again. So overall, both teams now even Stevens on that margin, but I am interested to see what is the ultimate situation overall. Looking for both of these teams, as King one away from the Seekers here if he wants to utilize it. Cyborg does have the showstopper as well to just force out these defenders from the very comfortable positions that they're trying to hold on to. Good denial. They're not going to be able to get much here, but the Regen Shield being utilized on the opposite end, and one after the other, the members of EVOs, never mind. Your blink and he missed it. 3 players have already fallen down onto the floor. Lane able to make a little bit of a difference here for his entire team, but it's just not gonna be enough. King good for 1 kill, but immediately just drops down onto the floor. The members of EVO, they flood in towards the side, and honestly speaking, Infuse, unless they start taking the initiative here and try to force these players off of the back of side or fight for control, Infuse might just run away with all of this.
Yeah, EVO's, their patience is so good, and the way they react immediately after the spike gets planted, they clear out these angles, they isolate them, smoking off the middle of the site and allowing your players to push in towards lamp safely. And other than that, just mechanics, winning out these gunfights, hitting the heads properly and coordinating with your team with using utility. That is something Infuse is unable to react to. They get to the site, and we were talking about this. We were talking about them being way too reactive on the side of A, not really being a little aggressive and having some sort of map control. But that seems to be working out against Infuse's super quick, explosive plays. And right now, switching things up, heading towards B. I think the first time we're seeing them push B at the start of the round with this many players. But with the Cypher setup coming in, Lunatic will try to pop in. Here comes the Gecko flashes. Try and go for a peek, but there is so much utility in the site. No one can see where anyone is, but he gets the shot on the wreck and trade by Akashi immediately. And they go back and forth as Q falls as well.
Spike planted.
I believe it's a 3 versus 3 situation. It could be a 3 versus 4, is it? No, it's a 3 versus 3, I think. Not for long, as Cyborg just peeks and takes down Akashi. And Fuse are gonna be with the man advantage, as both players gonna try and push out a CT off of this Sky Flash. They explode on, they're good for 1, but the fall off from Cyborg is just perfect. Triple kill for the man, giving Infuse another round, and they're just 1 step closer to tying things up again. I thought this B-side push was gonna be a little bit more difficult, considering the utility, considering the Gecko presence in that B-side. But good reactions from Lunatic to be able to open things up, get that frag onto the Gecko, and lead his team into the site. It's gonna be a good round coming in from the side of Infuse.
Just gonna need to wait and see where this is gonna be going here for them. It's Infuse. They do have significant advantage now because of the weapons that they have in their hands. But EVOs, regardless of those, they've made work with these weaker weapons quite often. So Infuse, once again, taking it slow, taking it steady. They want to see if the members of EVOs are going to make a move here, but none of them are taking a risk. Once more, sitting inside of the site, hoping that their site hold is what will really give them that edge. None of these players are taking a swing. They're not even peeking. I like the discipline, but there's also a thing such as a little bit too much discipline when it comes down to the game of Valorant.
Yeah, for not being too reactive. If you are being too reactive and not enough proactiveness is visible in your strategies, that could spell disaster. But right now they are trying to go for the spike plant, some pieces of utility and nades to try and deny that. Good utility from Evo to keep that spike off the bay, and they aren't really pushing any of these players. But Lunatic creeps in towards Lambs, gets the frag on the Soup. It's gonna be a big one considering he is the controller as the flood storms into this Lamp, which has been a hotspot for the for the action in this matchup. Infuse, win it out. The 3 players alive. They're gonna have enough money and utilities and weaponry going into the fallout to try and extend this lead. As 4-4 is on the cards. That was a pretty solid setup from Evos. They were using the utility pretty good and they're ready for a retake scenario. The spike wasn't even down yet, but Lunatic with that pick onto the Astra, crumbling the defensive setup. Evos need to work on that.
Yep. Evos are just in a little bit of a precarious situation. As, once again, playing it so defensive, and Kito, I don't know how to say it, but this game of Valorant might have just evolved into a point-and-click simulator, because none of them are really taking an advantageous duel. No one's really fighting for information, no one's fighting for map denial just yet. And I don't really like the odds of this one. Slow and Steady wins the race, yes, but not at the current meta of Valorant. It can be tough if both of your teams are playing in a different fashion. Radif able to find one, but immediately gets traded out here.
Launching smoke.
Kaja able to find a little bit. Q inside of the site, right behind the cage. Needs a little bit of information. Should be the one to find it. It's the Singer. Finds value. Go for the 1 kill. Tries to find the second from Q, but Q just not able to get it infused. They're able to flood in towards the side, and they are able to be the ones to capitalize onto the trades. And with that, it's just time to hold now. 5-4 to be a reality. True.
Gets one. He's closer to his own ultimate, but taking down. The trades aren't gonna connect, and King, not even necessary. Ultimate will be saved and infused. They're gonna extend the lead 5-4. It's gonna give them a massive advantage in the next round as the economy will start to crumble for Evos. Half buys are the best they can do, I believe. And with that, this small lead that Infuse have created will extend. It will increase. A 6-4 is very much on the deck right now.
Kill them.
Not even very much. It's almost a guaranteed. When you think about it,
Yeah,
that's significant
it's pretty much
advantage. Yep, that's significant
You
advantage.
never
That
know,
you,
though.
yeah.
You
I
never know.
mean, the Evils haven't really been the brightest, I would say, when it comes to the weaker weapons. But maybe they can prove me wrong here. You just
real bright lunatic.
I don't get it. Why? Who?
No, bro didn't. He just swung that with his camera, and Q was ready with a Bucky in his face. He will be possibly traded out right now as a Radiant come in. Kaja's gonna get the kill, but a teammate will be trying to take that position. Flash is coming in. Kraken with the Stinger. Is he good for 1? He is, but not good for the second. Trade is instant. It's still a 3v3. Ultimates on the card for both teams. It's still anyone's game at this point. In the flank from Akashi, if he hears them rotate, he can pop that ultimate. If he hears them push into the B side from his teammates, he can continue on with the flank and possibly get the skill onto lane. As the explosion comes in, Akashi's good for 1. Radif as well following it up. Cyborg, the only player alive, does have the Raze ultimate. He's gonna be trapped inside. Good for 1. Knows the player is in hookah. He's trying to bait him out. Sees him. They don't want to take these fights. Radif uses up his own ultimate.
Just don't. Bro, never mind. They actually swung out into him. That is insult to injury, pretty much. Members of Evolvers, they are not afraid of what Infuse are going to be bringing onto the table here. They are ready, they are prepped, and they are here to win. That's exactly what you want to see.
What was that about being bright?
I don't know, man. The caster's
What was
curse
that?
exists. The caster's curse exists. Your
That is
face
why
is like the. Your face is the
wield the
curse.
That's
Nah,
why
your
you
face
wield
is the curse.
man. You
Nah,
wield
man,
the
your
curse.
your face is the curse.
That's real original, man. But the curse will be a blessing for the side of Evos, as they are gonna be able to tie things up and sort of recover the economy, and they're back to their old ways, rushing onto this A site with explosive entry. Cyborg leading the charge. Wall goes up as they're trying to go for the spike plant. Utility will buy time, will deny it.
Launching
And the
smoke.
rotations are here. Shower control has been established though, so they can be a little bit more secure. Cage Tributes trying to create a gap for his players to entry. Raise ultimate comes in. Akashi is gonna get that player. Kaja will be taken down, but the spike has been planted. It's still a 4v4 situation. So many ultimates on the deck. Actually, one only. Actually, a couple for the side of Infuse, none for the side of Evos. They are closing up on that Gecko. Pradeep swings out of lamps, but taken down by Cyborg. Shower control reestablishes. Kraken takes down Lunatic. They're swarming from either end, but Cyborg is not stopping. Kraken as well gets his third, and King with the final nail on the coffin. 6 and 5,
Last round in
and
the
they
half.
maintain that lead.
They took the last round personally.
What do
this
you mean,
hell.
a bucky in my face? Here, take this. Absolutely demolishing that A site.
That's how you have to go for sometimes when you think about it. These roundups, these matches, just gonna get closer and closer at every turn. And Infuse being able to capitalize on the fast rushes that they were able to take wins on previously are forcing the members of Evos to play their hands a little bit more differently here, but instead Evos going back to the older setups, Trident who tested once again, but it could just work. Akashi, beautiful on the spray. He's gonna be able to catch out Cyborg around the corner, but King immediately finds out the trade. That's the teammate that you need. All the space that you make, he's gonna be able to capitalize on top of it. It's Infused. They get the spike plant down, heading down over to the post on positions. Viper Spit still in hand, and Lane doesn't really want to utilize it.
Brimstone ultimate does find the frag on the soup. The defuse is going down with Wingman. Kaja is trying to keep that bomb ticking, but time's running away. He's got to find those kills, and no time as the defuse connects. It's going to get 6 and 6 off. They do get the kills. It
Switching
doesn't
sides.
even matter anymore. All even Stevens as we go into the second half. Now with the composition changed. Excited to see how they utilize this double controller on the defensive half. It will be a little bit more difficult for Evos to rush the site with that much utility present, get the spike down. The Viper utility, the Brimstone mollies are gonna be good for the site entry denial or even the retake situations, honestly. Clearing out these angles, spots where the attackers could be hiding. On the opposition, Akashi has been pretty good on the aim, pretty good on the raise as well, utility wise, mechanics wise. So on the attacking half is what I want to see. How this player utilizes his positioning, this agent. Is they are gonna be trying to go for a slower A side push again, I believe. Evo's all crowded around that A short area. This pistol round win will be so important for either side, giving them that early lead, giving them that economic advantage, especially when things are 6-6. Bit of a one way for Cyborg, not really spotting anyone just yet. We'll see some legs and throws that nade up to give them some space. The entry has been denied so far, 1 minute on the clock.
Concealment.
Reactiveness from Infuse coming, so Evos coming in. They're swarming the site. Astro utility to try and clear these angles out. And Akashi with the first frag onto Cyborg. Spike plan's gonna go down using the Wingman. And there's nothing they can do to deny as Soup finds another one onto Kaja. Making this a 3v4. Or is it 3v5 actually? It is a 3v5.
Yeah, it's 3-5. Sadly, the UI is not getting fully updated yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get this one fixed out as fast as we possibly can, but seemingly, on the opposite end, it's gonna be the members of Evil who are just able to run everything down. They have the advantage, they have the lead, and they are gonna be the ones to take the lead here. Beautiful round indeed as Evos take the 7th on the board here. It's the buys coming through once again as overall, I would say Evos are playing their cards just a little bit better here. Their rushes look to be a lot more impactful because they're not afraid to fight for control. And when a team is this confident in their overall skill, as a defender, unless you match that energy, it's gonna be tough for you to hold on to any of these sides.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that song. You said the line. Someone's gonna match. If someone's gonna match this level of play. Yeah, I was thinking about the song. You know which song?
I don't.
You do.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not playing dumb. I'm not playing dumb.
Oh wow, you aren't? You're so convincing though. You're so good at.
No, I'm not. I'm not
seem
playing
like a
dumb. Which song?
natural.
No,
You
which
seem-
song?
You seem so dumb. It's so realistic, your dumb plays. It's so good, man. It's so good. Really had me going there.
I'm coming over to Breck University or whichever university that you're in and just coming to slap you in the face.
Oh, you really had me going there. It's like this little fake over here. They're trying to push towards the B side. So far, the denial has been good. Oh, this positioning is so good from the opposite end. But Lane not able to make anything happen as he will be taken down. The Spike wingman plant is gonna come in. The
30
TP from the
seconds
teleporter. And the A side is theirs. The rotations have come in. As King trying to make way of the situation. Almost gets a kill onto Kraken. Now the massive flankers are all that's remaining. Cyborg spotted out.
One
Soup
enemy
gets one
remaining.
more. On to Lunatic. Kodger's trying to go for a jump peek. Almost messed that up there. Waiting for a shorty. Trying to bait out a fight towards him. The nade gets him good. He's going to be on low HP as the push comes in. They're all just swarming him. They know. As Q gets the frag with the Bulldog, an 8-6 lead for Evos, and that is gonna be instrumental. Infuse, however, will have their Byrons. They will be looking to make the most out of these weaponries, because this situation, they're so close to actually losing out, giving Evos the double digits. If they don't win this round, it's gonna be a tough one to come back from.
Absolutely. Go big or go home. That's the name of the game here whenever you're playing with such high stakes. As for Infuse, this round pretty much will warrant their possible victory or their probable loss. Cyborg on the angle here already. It's just the members of Evos now. They're the ones who's taking a little bit more of a slower approach, which is warranted from them, considering the weaker weapons. They want to see if any member of Infuse step out of line, toe the edge even, just to find that slight bit of information, but they're not really able to gain much. Infuse taking things slow, and Cyborg is just getting ample amounts of info that he needs, but Evils, they need to play their hand quickly. With 56 seconds left on the clock, they pretty much spend the last 30 to 40 seconds doing absolutely nothing on the map.
With 45 on the clock, they need to speed things up. They haven't really made any progress on either ends. As the time creeps up on them, they're gonna gather this around this A short area. Possible TP from the Cypher on the other end.
30 seconds left.
This is looking like a massive blunder if they don't make a quick work of this. As the push comes into A short, they do get the first frag. Actually, no, Cyborg's gonna be the one to take them out. The Spike pen goes down, a swing from Lane. He does get one
Spike
more,
planted.
but Soup trades out. Spike has been planted, but again, the man advantage is gonna be massive. They don't really need to rush this. They can wait for the rotations and take this in numbers. It's gonna be so difficult for Akashi and Soup to fight through this.
One enemy remaining.
The trades do come in. Soup will be taking down Cyborg. Trying to fight Akashi, and Kauja will be the one to take him out. And then 9 and 6 core line.
Nice try, kid. Not the boom you hoped for.
Yeah, this was just a simple round for them to take this victory upon. Do it, take it slow, take it steady. And for Infuse, having the better weapons here, Infuse having the better weapons here overall just gave them that slight edge that they required, but best not to get a little bit too comfortable because you know what's going to happen if they do get into that kind of a situation. We've seen a lot of great teams start to fall apart as soon as they get a bit too overzealous in the positions that they are already in. But for now, celebrating the small victories.
Real Madrid. Me looking at my Real Madrid fan base. Oh yeah.
What is wrong with you with the Brazil fan base and the Real Madrid fan base? I swear. This guy absolutely lost, just like Cyborg at this point. He's gonna probably be on the receiving end of a lot of hurt, and Akashi able to find that kill.
Taken down.
After the other, they're able to find some trades. Shark control is very much the most important thing for them, and one after the other, the members of EVOs, they're just W-keying their way in, flashing out, across, spots one of the players, King! Beautiful flick, god damn, that looked like a back level shot right there. Is able to find a lot here. It's 8-8, the members of Infuse. They're bringing this one back, one step at a time.
Yep, 8-8's the scoreline. Economy is gonna be a bit shabby for both ends. They should be able to get buys. They're just not out of the woods yet completely. As the pause comes in, I believe it's a tactical one. Is that this situation 8-8? Both teams are feeling the momentum. Both sides are gonna be having an understanding of each other, and I feel like not really 100% know how to utilize that information. We are seeing a decent push coming in from the attackers, but in the post plant, we don't know. They seem like they don't know what to do. They seem very one-dimensional. They seem like they just want to hold that area without any kind of proactiveness, without any kind of map control. And the defense is just ripping that apart. Meanwhile, the other end of the defenders, they are winning out these rounds in Fuse, but not really coming in with some creative, proactive plays, no flanks. And their ultimate game has been questionable as well. We're not seeing, actually both teams, we're not seeing any massively effective ultimates.
This has been a true fact throughout the entire game that the ults... I get where you're going, but I think they're just a little bit on the... How do you put it? They're not yet sure how to properly utilize those ultimates, and it's understandable because Valorant as a game, especially with the ults that you do have, especially the Viper Spit, you need to have a game plan before you utilize it. Otherwise, you're probably just setting your team up for failure. 9 out of 10 times your team is just going to die because of the Viper Spit not being placed out properly, or they're going into the round just to utilize that Viper Spit for a post plan. Mind you, in this current meta, or not even the current meta, in this current year of Valorant, especially as time has gone down, a lot of players are losing because their Viper Spit are being used in post plans. Because Viper Spit, when it's utilized, you are forcing all of your teammates to play inside of the site, inside of your own pit. And they cannot help you unless they're inside of that pit. And that proves to be a very significant disadvantage. Statistically, as Valorant is now grown a lot older as a game, people know how to counteract stuff like this. I do believe that Infuse, if they really want to take this victory, they need to start figuring out how to utilize this Viper Spit to its fullest. First lines of contact though being made by the members of EVO as they gain some information, but Lunatic needs to find multiple kills, but he's just not going to be able to find out much. Infuse, they take the victory there, and with that first kill, they get a weapon in their hands as well.
Yep, the side's gonna be there. There's nothing much the defensive side can do. EVOs to deny this. Wait. No fast reactions just yet. I thought King might have just pop flashed his way out of there. He's not ready for the Gecko Kraken. The positioning is good, but the trade is immediate. Soup does keep it going. Lane with another. As it's all gonna boil down to this 2v2 situation. 3v2 actually. So much utility available for these attackers to keep that spike ticking. They're spamming through the walls. Low HP on Cyborg. Q is in such a good position to deny this. Cyborg falls all onto lane, but Q is good for the reaction. A 9-8, and EVOs extend their lead. Infuse getting absolutely bulldozed in their own site. That was a good site taken, good post plant positioning. The way they pushed out and the way they maintained control of that elbow area as well. They didn't really leave it up to par. They didn't really just smoke or molly it and let go. They kept their eyes on that and they were able to find value. There's a good play coming in from the attackers, and right now with the scoreboard and the economy, this match is no short. I mean, each and every round feels like a decider.
Absolutely. When both teams are very careful and methodical in their overall approach, you will not be disappointed in the way that they're trying to carry themselves forward. But this round, with the weaker buys, the members of EVO, they're the ones playing a little bit more on the defensive end. Taking their time for each engagement, not really risking anything just yet. Infuse already taking these swings, and they are going to be the ones to find out the trades as well. This is a 3v2, I do believe, and it's all dependent on Nakashi being able to find the kill. He's able to do so. Gyu with the perfect flank, he's able to shut down another. Never mind, it's a 3v1 now. They could go in for a rotation if they do want to, finding out the last player, and it's going to be King, who was none the wiser. As EVO, they're turning everything on its head. They get the 10th on the board. Double digits already being given in. It's Infuse. They were not ready for the hurricane that just passed right through them. Beautiful round indeed to turn everything back.
I feel like this is one of the more evenly stated matches, but still, I'm seeing such a gap from the various departments of the game, various sections of the game. Based on map control and reactiveness, I'm not really seeing the defensive side of Infuse coming up with much. They're trying to be a bit proactive, but they're being limited by the way their utility is being used. As shower control can be more effectively established, the retakes can be done so much better. Like Kakashi coming in and jumping with the Raze ultimate. Gets a couple Kaja does trade, but the entry has been done. They're holding the lamps area as well as the peek from Cypher. He's only got a shorty, sorry, it's a Bucky, but Soup counters out perfectly, and again Q coming into showers. It works out brilliantly as they take another round in their favor. 11-8, I believe.
Yeah, the scorecard is yet to be updated, ladies and gentlemen, but overall we are trying our best to keep you updated on the scores and what's really happening here. But for now, it seems the Evolvers, they could easily be the ones to take this first initial map for themselves, and not map, sorry, this entire series for themselves. But in a way, Infuse, still a little bit of a chance for them to turn everything back. But this double initiator composition just has so many different flaws that you need to worry about. But the Lunatic demanding so much space and showers being the only place that they need to worry about, the Viper needs to make an instant rotation. Just run, knife out, bro. You don't really have a lot of time. Your teammates could just be in a lot of trouble. Perfect nade. Yeah, that was a wait.
He walked under that.
He walked under that, and Lunatic just found the timing as well. He jumped the trip, never mind. He jumped the trip. The tripwire was still there, but the tripwire placement was bad. Infuse, you just made the blunder of your life.
The one round we see Lunatic be a little bit aggressive and push out an A short almost out of the gate, almost immediately as the barriers went down. He was looking for an aggressive play, he was looking for an aggressive peek, and when he didn't see anyone show up, he walked up, he continued to flank, and gave that information to the rest of the teammates. Alright, this is probably B, I'm seeing no one outside A, and finds the flank of a lifetime. That is a massive blunder on the end of the opposition.
He jumped the trip.
How? What? Why? How can you place it too low? You can place that too high up. That's a possibility because you're aiming for the head, right?
Exactly.
But how do you place it too high up? Q, he's gonna be paying back Lunatic for that right now with the first frag going in his favor. Lunatic again a little bit overzealous after that last round. Might feeling his blood pumping a little bit, but still anyone's game. Raze Nade does create some space for them to entry, but it's still not an A side push. This could be a massive fake if they walk in right now at the side of B. It's theirs for the taking, and the rotations come in, and maybe the realization sets in from the defenders. Wait a second, this could be a complete fake. As the smokes come in, the flashes are there, the entry is not yet coming in. This might be a little bit too late right now. They're taking so much time. What are they doing?
There's not really a lot of time left on the clock either. It's gonna just go from bad to worse.
30 seconds left.
They do have the perfect timing over onto one. Soup's going to be able to find one kill at the bare minimum. That's going to give them the edge that they need, but overall, now you can see the updated score lines.
It's the only thing you can see at this point. I think the UI is updated. Rest of the UI at least.
Infuse also only have 2 more players left for themselves, as everyone's just gonna try to flood in towards the side one after the other. Soup's just now down and dusted. I don't think the UI is completely updated because I think that's the wrong one, or am I just being thrown into a loop?
It's flipped up. It's flipped. That's all that. That's all that is.
Now it's fine. So yeah, match point for the members of Evolvers now, as they're pretty much prepared and ready to try and take this victory away. They do have a couple of strong ultimates coming up for themselves. The ultimate was already utilized here, so that's a different matter entirely. So Radif doesn't have the Seekers anymore, but Kraken with the Thrash, maybe they can utilize it to get that early pickup, but the Brimstone, first line of contact, but Akashi able to take that win for himself. And with that, his team does have a little bit of a saving grace with the Brimstone not being present on the map, but that's just one of the controllers. They still have to worry about the other one that's waiting for them.
Yeah, and they are going to be spread out over the map, trying to look for an opening, trying to find this early pick. I believe they know this guy's position. Radif will be swinging out towards that B-long. Lunatic again aggressive on that A-short area. He's been on fire ever since that round where he flanked. Looking to take these fights. No peeks coming in from this B-long area. They've been playing around each other for so long, and King is able to run away. But they do know now, the information is there that they've given up this B-long. They're trying to push and counteract off of this. The ultimate used up. That does clear out some angles. The Raise Nade is there. Smoke's not utilized just yet, as the rotations are gonna come in. Aggressive push towards B-long, and King takes down Radif. That will secure this side as the rotations are gonna come in. The A site will be under siege. No players there, but this Cypher trap, this Cypher setup could buy some time for the defenders. Good satchel from Akashi. I don't think they're going to be expecting this behind the Astro ultimate. It should have no sound.
But the spike got broke. Oh no!
What happened?
Oh god, that could have gotten so bad. The Gecko wingman got destroyed already.
How did they destroy it? With a nade or PC?
Oh, yeah, with the satchel. With the satchel. They're gonna be able to jump through. Spike line did go down though, so they have to force this into a 2v2 retake. Slight bit dangerous, but Cyborg doesn't miss any of these shots. The aim on this man is legendary, but it is just not gonna be enough. Never mind. Shots connect, and they're gonna be able to take this win out. As Infuse, they're able to live, and they're able to survive. Good lord. That was a little bit too close for comfort.
That was absolutely insane, and I feel like the attacking side of Evos, they've been making this mistake, or at least this is something they need to work out. That their attacking play is being a little bit too slow at this point. Maybe it's because of the lack of information coming in with the Gecko and the Sky. That should be enough for them, but we can see them walking around after creating an opening, like on the side of B. They're finding these avenues. They're finding the opening pick. They're selling these fakes, but they're not utilizing it. They're not bursting onto the side. They're not taking this gift on a platter. That is an empty site with maybe one player, where they have the advantage. No, they're not taking that advantage fast enough to be effective, and rather because of being late. Infuse, they're rotating, they're bolstering their retake scenario and giving them a run for their money. Right now they are looking to take this B site with force. Couple of players on the defensive end of Infuse, as the smokes and utilities are gonna come in to try and take this side. Viper Mod try and slow the push down, and they're gonna be walking in. The rotations are coming in. No players killed just yet. No trades, no frags until Soup gets the first onto King. Wingman is gonna go for the plant, and nothing can deny that. Rotations are here, and Kaja is looking to find an opening pick before they go for this. Elbow is completely open. These players are separated by this gap. As Lane comes in, Soup does trade, going for his third, but he needs to do more. Fortunately, Lunatic will shut him down, leaving this into a postman scenario. Smokes come in, and this is such a good angle for the attackers.
She's still
Unless
gunning for
Lunatic.
ya.
Oh, here comes the thrash, finds one, Radif gets the other, and the knife! No! No! To finish things off. On to Lunatic. Wow, that was a good way to end it. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely. That last bit is where you really face the trouble, but at the end, there's not really much more that you can say, right? They tried their hardest, but it's tough, especially when you play bind in such a defensive fashion. As soon as you start to take those aggressive pushes, that's where you're, of course, going to be the ones to take that victory away from your opponents.
Yeah, we saw them be really passive on the retake scenarios. They are giving away the sites, and maybe you can do that a little bit on the A site when you have so much room around the sites to play around. It's such an open area. The B site, once the attackers take control, you can't really do anything inside. You have to go around the outskirts. So you have to come in through CT, come in through elbow. That's when you maybe need to be a little bit proactive. That's why we see all these players take so much control at hookah.
Yep.
We see them push B long. Because that side isn't the best for the retake scenarios. There's not just that many avenues for entry, and I feel like the defensive end, they weren't able to realize this quick enough. But overall, just based individually, both these teams, they gave us a hell of a fight. That was more close than it seemed, especially in the middle of the rounds where both the teams were really figuring each other out and maybe figuring themselves out that how do we want to play this map on attack or defense. How do we want to attack? How do we want to defend? Or what is our strategy going to be? So it's nice to see this little growth and development of both these sides, learning and growing as a team in the middle of a match. It's quite fun to see.
Yeah. Overall, every turn that they took, they were able to perform really well, but that performance had been a little bit too up and down. And again, it all just falls back to playing that much more older style of Valorant, not really being up to point with the current meta, especially with the new agents getting picked up. Yes, it's good, and it's also bad at the same time because as teams opponents are going to be getting a lot more better, and it seems as though another thing just came to my attention. You are crushed now.
I am what? Oh, I just oh no, my guys has been figured out. They figured out.
Yeah, I didn't know your hair grew that long after you moved to Germany, my brother.
Yeah. Man, these Germans, man, their hair oil is like absolutely impressive. Just a couple of weeks and here I am. I'm Eddie Van Halen right now. Look at this.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta love it when you see it, my boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice one while it lasted. Unfortunately, I'm back to being Kirito. Sad for you guys. Back to progressive.
Yep.
We all know he prefers Crest over me.
Yeah, because of the mental violation that you put me through every single time I'm with you on a desk.
Oh yeah. I love to do it. It's always a fun time to be violative towards aggressive. I wanted to make a Brazil joke, but I couldn't find one. I'm gonna be honest.
Not in this match. Maybe in the next match we're gonna find a Brazil scoreline again.
You never know.
He's gonna haunt me till I'm dead.
Oh yeah, even after your death, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, thinking about this post match, I'm having similar thoughts as well. That both of these teams, they are having that potential strategy wise and agent composition wise. They are eager to learn, they're eager to grow, and eager to come up with ways to utilize this composition. I feel like that is a quality that will be something that helps them in the long run. This will lead to them maybe standing a better chance against some of these bigger teams, some of these top tier teams that have so much experience, that have these massive players that have been here on the scene for such a long time. So having that urge to learn and maybe just rewatch the videos, rewatch how you played and what you could have done better. These are things that I'm just this could all just be guesswork, but I'm feeling this is true. Both these sides, they have that encouragement in them based on how they from going in from the very aggressive first half of the attackers. They were pushing in. We saw them get that space. We saw them play off of that space on the defensive end, and they went for the retake so well. And again, these raises, Akashi and Cyborg, we're going to see the match MVP screen right now. There is a massive difference between their plays based on the combat score, but both of them really tried picking up the weight and really tried pulling their team out of those very difficult situations.
Absolutely. You cannot say that both of these players did not play their hearts out. They absolutely did. Every time you expected a team to take a win away from the other one, it just did not happen like that because, good lord, Akashi just hit a lot of really nutty shots, and Cyborg flying through the sky, even with a showstopper in his hands, were nothing in comparison to Akashi's aim, being able to shoot him out of there. Having 29 kills to his name with 6 first bloods on that raise, he did his job on the map of Bind, and he made sure that his presence was known. And that's exactly how the members of EVOS were able to take this win. Being smart about their overall plays, they were not afraid to take a lot of very aggressive duels, and that's exactly what you need. Those small little details. And in some situations, you saw that Infuse, they were trying to go in for those aggressive plays, but when you're right at the very end, your opponents are knocking at death's door. It's just not gonna happen.
But on the other end, both these teams, if you look at the combat scores, you can definitely tell that there were a lot of impact fraggers, even outside the lone duelists that were Akashi and Cyborg. On the end of Infuse, we did see King and Lane finding a lot of impact despite being these support players. That's what you want to see. Lunatic as well, coming in and winning out these rounds with some of his plays. We see the confidence he gets when he's able to find a couple of kills here and there. And the other end of EVOS, even them Soup on the Astro, that is such a difficult agent to play in general. The skill setting is quite high when you think about having to micromanage all your orbs and support your team, and even solo play with all those pieces of utility. He was able to frag out, and he was able to be the second best on his team. These are qualities that you want on your players, to not just play off of their utility, play for you, but also hold their own whenever necessary. So that these are going to be things that will determine and will allow these players to grow more in the future. But that was it for the first game. We do have one more on the cards, I believe.
Yep, absolutely. We still have one more on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. So grab your snacks, and of course, actually, not even your snacks. Grab your dinner right now because it's almost 11. I'm going to be doing the exact same as we head on down over into a very short little break. And let's see what's in store for us for the second matchup in just a little while.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ারের ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jump between 134 and 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh my God! Come on, brother, please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh my god! Come on, brother, please, no!
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna sour. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ারের ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh my god! Come on, brother, please, no!
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Hey! Oh my God! Come on, brother, please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna sour. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ারের ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh my god! Come on, brother, please, no!
Our Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh. Oh my God! Come on, brother, please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jump between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh. Hey! Oh my God! Come on, brother, please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best. Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
If it's jumping between 134, 66.
Who's looking at me? Somebody's looking at me. Oh my God! Come on, brother, please, no.
Our service crushes lag with up to 99.9% uptime, gaming cache for Steam and Epic, and FTP servers that move at the speed of light.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second match of Inspired Broadband Valorant Championship. And it's gonna be the last game of the round of 16. After this matchup, we're gonna be heading straight to the quarterfinals with the top 8 teams of the tournament. And it might be the last stage of this half of the tournament, but it definitely, gives you the symbol that this tournament is far from over because of how exciting things are getting right now. Even though we're just in the round of 16, that last match was absolutely a thriller.
Absolutely. 2 underdog teams facing off against one another to see exactly which one will prove their mettle to go up to the round of 8s. That is exactly what we are here to see. And now, for this one, we probably do have another underdog teams now going up against one another to exactly who are going to be the ones to go out from them. Now, it's gonna leave a lot of questions, to say the very least, because Evolvers, yes, they had a lot of potential in them, but to go up against a lot more of the veteran names, I didn't really see them pull off plays like that. That would prove me otherwise, but maybe in this last matchup, we're gonna see an interesting map pickup that could really spice things up for us, but then again, I am not really that hopeful, because most teams maybe, okay, never mind.
All right.
A little bit different.
Well, it is going to be Bang Bros taking on Zender Knight Esports, and Zender Knight are going to be attacking for the first half on the map of Lotus, and I hate it. I don't like this map at all. Absolutely
That's because you're bad at it.
I despise it from the bottom of my heart. Actually, it is quite fun. At least it is a lot better than maybe Abyss or what's the other one? Fracture. Fracture was also kind of, I don't know. I feel like I enjoy some of these more painful maps a little more than most people do. I still hate it.
That's because you like pain. You're a masochist.
Yeah, whichever direction I go in, Aggie's always there to put me down. It's like, I like it, yeah, because you hate pain, you love pain. I hate it because you're bad. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Pick a
last thing, because that's because you hate yourself. Done.
Oh yeah, it all stems down to my self-hatred. But yeah, Lotus, it's a lot about map control, isn't it? You as a defender, you have to be aggressive no matter what. It could be at the side of C, it could be at A. You really need to be proactive in those scenarios and have map control. If you're being so passive, you can't cover all these avenues on yourself. You need to have that information on where these attackers are, and that gives the attackers that freedom to roam around, look for picks, maybe even sneak in. But executing these sites, all of them are just so clustered, so deep within, and there's so many limited entrances. Actually getting in the site is much more difficult than it seems. So that's when the agent composition is really going to come in. Both sides are going to be going with the single sentinel composition. We're going to have a chamber for Zender Knight. That's going to be interesting to see. I mean, he does have his long-range weaponry that does give coverage over a long position, but compared to a Killjoy, is it the most effective agent on this map?
Kinda, but you need to play in a very, very, very specific fashion. And you need to fish out for as many kills as you possibly can. This is a composition that was originally utilized by T1 when they're a T1. And it's a really good composition, but at the same time, it has a lot of weaknesses as well that they need to worry about. Now, this comp is good if you're able to get kills, but it's really bad if you're not really having the best aim day. So if that chamber, let's assume, is able to bring in the raw firepower that his team needs at every single turn, then yeah, there's a good chance they're going to be able to take this victory. Otherwise, yeah, the utility department is going to be quite lacking, and that chamber is not going to be that useful.
I mean, on the other end, we do have the Fade and the Breach composition, a great balance between information and having utilities like stuns and flashes. to support the Neon. So on that part, we can say that the Zinner Knight definitely have that aggressive taste within them. The Omen as well, it provides diversity. That's what Bang Bros are going for as well. But a more traditional double duelist composition. Killjoy will provide some information, but with Breach solely focusing on helping out the entries, I feel like there is going to be a lack of information in general, and especially on the defender side, where you have to be a little bit more proactive. You really need to keep in mind where these players on the attacking end are to be able to bolster up your defense on that end.
True.
That will be a massive issue that they're gonna have to overcome. So they themselves have to push out and gather the information rather than depend on utilities like maybe a Gecko Flash or even a Sova Recon. So that is something that they're gonna have to figure out on the fly. So let's see if they're able to figure something out in that department.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what both of these teams have in store for us. Pretty interesting composition to say the very least. To end the night off on a little bit more of a different map than as per usual is really welcome, honestly speaking. But with that opening, the attack side will be a little bit more difficult, I would say. As Ambalon... Wait a minute! It's Ambulance Babul.
It's the Ambulance Babul.
Yes, the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend is here.
Oh yeah, and he's about to pop off
X-Papa. That's X-Papa for you, dude.
Yeah, I know. And when I saw the name Ambulance Babul, I thought it was someone older with X-Papa. This guy is absolutely cracked, and he has popped up in these recent tournaments. Coming up big. He's going to be at a bit of disadvantage early on in this seaside though, as the push comes in with Maki coming up with the chamber on a triple kill. And that's going to give them the site for free. Absolute bulldozer there on that seaside entry. And that's how much aggressive you need to be to have this map control. Look at, they're already in CT and they're pushing in. Oh, what the heck though. Bit of a pop off. But in the end, it's going to be Ambulance Babul to finish things off with a double kill on his own. And that's going to be giving Zinner Knight Esports a 1-0 lead. The weapons and partners coming in. And that's the kind of proactiveness I want to see from both ends. We did see the defenders of Bang Bros. They were looking for something similar, but they were a little bit slower on their approach. Mainly because of the Neon. It's just unbelievably fast. Like with a proper Breach stun and flash, that Neon is just too much to deal with sometimes. Yeah, this is gonna be their buy round for the side of Zinner Knight. They're gonna have Vandals, Spectres, a better armory in their grasp. Not much of a proactiveness from Bang Bros on their end, except for Nyx, who's pushed up all the way outside A main, and they know this. They spotted it out. The Prowler comes in, they all peek at once. The stuns come in, the site's empty. They don't even need it. Uzmaki's gonna dash in. Smokes have been placed, and this is completely cut off from the defenders. The spike should go down, no problem, and the weapons shift definitely suggests this round belongs to the attackers.
Planted.
So they're gonna be able to play this one out a little bit slower, but knowing the members of XC, I don't think they're gonna be playing exactly like that. Ambulance Babul waiting for the opportunity. He does spot on one of the heads. He's gonna be able to trade out his teammates in that regard, but now it's just about playing things as slow as they possibly can. One player towards the door side. They already know the position. They're going to be able to get the kill. And it's just about trying to hold down the lines. Couple of missed shots and opportunities here. But Ambulance Babul comes in strong, as it brings in the pain and brings in the hurt. The 0-2 scoreline does come through for them as XC. They take a very significant round for themselves. And honestly speaking, looking at a couple of these names, Lesnoob is one of those up-and-comers that I did hear a little bit about, but we all know about X-Papa and what he's really capable of once you allow him to heat up. And one of the biggest changes, though, I would say, from the good old days is that X-Papa no longer stuck on that Sage. He's finally branched out to other agents.
Oh yeah, no more heals, only insane frags from this man. And we are looking forward to it. The flash comes in, doesn't really connect on the peak. The counteract peak from Bubble is there. He's gonna go for his own Omen flash, and a little bit too little bit too excited for that part. He will be taken down. Uzumaki does trade, making this a 4v4 situation. Headhunter is out, but doesn't really connect the shots. They are gonna be coming in through that C-Link though. A-Link, I mean. Not bad. But Uzumaki proactiveness does give him a couple of frags, but another frag from the end of A-Link. Ravage Lust will be pushing away and keeping things guessing. Spike has been planted though, as they re-rotate to push in from this main area up on top. Nick's low HP is gonna be the backline on this part. They're looking to find these players. They know they've isolated them in this corner. Shots don't connect. Waduhek's gonna be low. He knows that there are two players there. The Fade Haunt gives them some more information. Less Noob coming in from the other end to get a couple of frags. The rest of the team chimes in, and that's gonna be a 3-0 lead for Sectoris Esports.
Free target practice. I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
I'm out of here.
That side take, man, that aggression initially, this is hard to take control, and they're so proactive. Even after they get the side, they go the extra mile to maybe push in through one of those CT avenues to ensure that no one else is gonna go for a quick retake.
I'm gonna need to wait and see where this is gonna go for them. As for now, they're not really gonna be brute forcing this one just yet. So over on the corners, we do see that XC, even with the stronger weapons, they're giving so much respect to their opposition, taking things slow, taking it one step at a time. There is asking much just yet. Over on the opposite end though, a couple of good stuns here. Lesnu does take a slight bit of chip damage, but you can already see the Neon up close and personal, ready to take the first fight. Ravage Lust stuck in a corner of his zone. Yeah, they know his position, but look at this again. They're not really opting to go in for those kind of a swings just yet. A little bit too presumptuous coming in from the Fade. Then no one's gonna push out of that smoke here. As
shadows
and bros, they're gonna be able to lift through that one.
The weapons differences there, utility difference, the Omen Flash comes into Uzumaki, but not good enough. Nyx is good with that sheriff, trying to go for another gun, doesn't even need it, finds 3 headshots, that brings it up to equal terms, not equal, advantages for his team, 3v2 situation, low HP on Ravage Lust, but still, the man count and less noobs HP should suggest that this is a very viable round for them. Weapons on the ground at the C site as well. All the way to A, maybe no.
Spike
It's Ravage Lust. He's gonna deny that. Sends that rocket launcher flying, and less noob is out. It's all on to Ambulance Babul, and he's gotta live up to the legend to bring this home. Spike's taking away. Does have his teleporter. His position is relatively known. This Ravage Lust, he's only got a shot to work with. Knows exactly where he is. Not able to land a shot here, but the teammates come in, and he's able to come in for the keep. And with that, first round for Bang Bros come into a 1-3 scoreline on the back of an eco and some exceptional deagle work, especially from Zix.
All I need is spare parts.
Absolutely. This round was a crucial one, and that having a thrifty for yourself, that is going to be a momentum breaker and a half. This changes everything, to say the very least, for this particular team, but overall, one small victory does not really mean the end of the world for the opposition, as Central Ninth Esports, now they do have a couple of very strong ultimates to go for themselves. The overdrive in the hands of Uzumaki. Why is there 2 Uzumakis again? I don't know, man. It's like everyone.
Threw me off. What the hell? That threw me off so much.
And it's the breach and the Neon as well. That's even worse.
The Uzumaki duo. Well, it's gonna be one half of the Uzumaki duo for now, as the operator finds his first prey.
Yep. The Neon not really able to use the overdrive to its fullest, but not really the end of the world, I would say. More chances to be presented, as a little bit more of a slower take is now pretty much warranted after that first hit. Not really brute forcing anything just yet, as the members of Central Knight taking a much more slower-ended approach for this one. Mikey, a little bit dangerous on his own accord, very forward position for him to gain that information, and he's able to give a lot to his teammates of exactly where the whereabouts are gonna look like. for the members of Bang Bros. Zinx, operator in hand, ready to hold on to this B side, and I love the fact that he's opting for a much more of a safer angle, so he can easily rotate on towards C if the rush does come there.
30 seconds
Ultimate yet
left.
to be utilized by the Breach, and they should get the spike plant down, and hopefully the Breach is going to be the one who opts to go in for that plant too. Yep.
Spike planted.
I wonder how they're gonna use this breach ultimate to maybe deny the site entry, or maybe try and prolong after the site take is already happened.
Sleep.
Good position. He's gonna be able to get the frag.
Last player
Onto the
standing.
Omen. The flank does come in. The water can might get a couple of kills of their own, and it's all on the fade. He's gonna be taken down in the hands of Nyx on the operator. That's a good round for Bang Bros, and they're gonna be one step closer, tying things up. They're gonna have the weaponry and the economy as well, but keep in mind the ultimates are still on the card for the attackers. The Uzumaki duo have their ultimates, and that is such a combination. Such a dangerous duo of ultimates that can be utilized quite effectively. But right now, based on the proactiveness I'm seeing from Bang Bros, how they're pushing out of A and holding to give that additional information to the rest of the team, how they're passively holding towards C for the retake, and the way they're utilizing the map, they're going for these flanks, they're going for these cheeky angles to go in where the opposition is least expecting them.
Face your fear!
Blinding.
Ultimate coming in. No one's really there, they're giving this up.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Plant
risk
the spike.
much going into this.
Plant
The
the
members of
spike.
Bang Bros, they understand they have a couple of good ultimates to try and take this one over if they want to. The Killjoy lockdown's going to give them the space that they need. But then again, trying to force your entire play onto the fact that the lockdown is present is a pretty bad call from time to time.
Initiated.
Good cross out. Bang Bros, they're trying to live here. The Rolling Thunder is going to give them all the space that they need. Maki, good for the first kill. They need to try and break this lockdown for as quickly as they possibly can. Never mind. This has gone from bad to worse. One of the players have been caught out though, but look towards CT. No one's checking that angle. This could just be the play for him.
Last
And
player.
it's all up to Celix. Good for the one kill. He now needs to survive for as long as he possibly can. Flooded down from multiple different side lines. The spike line not meant for him. And they do get caught out. The members of Centralite, they just were not prepared for this. I have no idea. Why is the Neon going all by himself to try and break the Killjoy lockdown? What was the game plan there?
The utility was good as well. They used the breach ultimate. We saw the Omen flash coming in. That was a perfect setup. I don't know what Bang Bros did to deny them that entry, but only the Neon came in to try and fight that, and he wasn't even able to break the lockdown. That was priority number one. Even if it was one player pushing in, breaking that lockdown would allow the rest of the team to play in sight and keep that spike ticking. The counter utility though from the end of Bang Bros was exceptional as well.
Bomb
The first
buddy.
frag on to Ravish Lust coming in.
Here.
Marshall by in the hands of Ambulance Bubble, not gonna come up against the operator. Ravish Lust with the Phantom able to get that kill easily. The rotations are called. After losing two players, they're heading back to C. The hands of Rakushona. Got the Omen ultimate, he's got all his abilities and utility. He can fight this all alone if he wants to. Completely disregard Les Noob, doesn't even care to clear the site.
One enemy remaining.
Ultimate gets on the flash
down.
comes in, and he's good for one more. Uzumaki recovers the weapon, but he's gonna take this fight, spots the player out, but not enough. Ravage Lust, again, third kill of the game. Third kill of the round, actually. Giving them the lead by the margin of one round. And now the economy may be a little bit busted. Ultimate
No.
still on the card, though.
Yeah. A little bit of a timeout now being taken just to stabilize themselves, because Centralite, they have lost 4 rounds consecutively at this point. Bang Bros have just gone in for a lot of these aggressive retakes, and they're doing it together as a team. Centralite, I don't think they're mentally prepared for a lot of these retake situations that are going out for them. Yeah, they're expecting the fight to come towards them, but as soon as they are getting into a duel, none of the other members are really prepared to go in for those trades. You are gonna lose out on a couple of fights, but if your teammates are not prepared to take those trades, then no matter what you do, what kind of setup you have, it's always gonna end up being the same. Bang Bros, they're disrespecting you. That basically means that they are confident in their own gunfight capabilities to go up against you. And unless a switch out and a change happens soon, you know that Zendronite, they're gonna be bleeding out a lot more rounds after this.
They are so dead.
Ultimates are gonna be used up. Less Noob using the tour de force. They still managed to scrape up a full buy. Everyone's gonna have their rifles. The overdrive still on the cards.
You want to play? Let's play.
To counter that quite well. I mean, that's the best answer to hands shooting out laser. Just a damn rocket launcher, isn't it? Doesn't matter where to aim, just hit it around the general area and you're gonna get that kill in. Now both teams taking a tad bit slower. No one's pushing out from A on the defensive end of Bang Bros. No one's pushing out of C either. They're just bolstering these avenues. So is Internet Esports. They're slowing things down. They were usually very fast-paced on the C side, but now want to take a step back. Want to see if they can find an opening, find an pick, because they know the weapons difference and the ultimate game on the other end is quite effective. So if they find an opening, weaken that defense just a little bit, that'll allow them to play around this map. But they gotta keep their eyes on the clock. 2:40 seconds left. No real progress made so far.
$30 seconds left.
See exactly where they hit onto here. And you see that Uzumaki's able to run himself into its side vulnerable, could cause him some problems, but never mind, Zentronite. Right after the pause, it seems as though a completely different team has now showed up. Momentum reset for them as they're able to use the slow play to its fullest caliber. I'm an ambulance bubble going in for the beautiful lurk as well. Able to catch out one of the players who were trying to go in for a little bit of a sneaky play on his own accord, but doesn't really seem to work out as Bang Bros completely caught off guard by the change in pacing that Zentronite went for here, waiting for the last 30 seconds of the round to pretty much go in for that execute. We're not expecting this, and this is why playing a lot more aggressively for information is just so crucial. You're forcing your opponents to play their hands a lot more earlier or to play full contact throughout the entire map if they want to not give away info. At every turn it is dangerous, and Zentronite, they just were able to play the default and then convert it into a very well-established round. Beautifully done.
Yeah, the patience coming out clutch for them. Everything is a lot slower, and I thought that Bang Bros' reaction to that was appropriate, that maybe a flank or two from either end would have been effective as well. You can't stay passive on all the sides. You have to have, if you're being passive at C, you need to be a little bit more proactive around A. At least even if it's a silent push out, even if it's just walking out towards that spawn area for the attackers. Do that. You need that information, especially when a team is being so sneaky and so silent, so passive. Operator though will come out. He's ready for the shot, but doesn't really connect. Has to dash away, but he's going for the respawn. Doesn't get it the second time. Sees him running away, trying to go for a Hail Mary. Doesn't connect. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, they're pushing out towards this A side. Uzumaki a little bit overwhelmed by the number of targets in the backside area. Rakushina's gonna fall as well, but the rest of the team is here to clean things up. They do lose out on a bunch of players, but Uzumaki, the breach Uzumaki is here to keep the team alive, and it's all on to Zix and Ravage Lust. The duelists, can they make it happen? And this positioning though from the chamber, Less Noob could have been effective.
Last player standing.
Here's him out, and so does Nyx. Picks up a Vandal. It's a 1v2. Uzumaki, can he live up to the name? Needs to clear him out. They don't know where he is, and this is a good spot, but now they know the backside is vulnerable. They're gonna push him together, and Ravage loves to get the kill. 2v4. Or was it 2v3 actually? Never mind. A 2v3 coming out in favor.
Was that important?
Defenders, Bang Bros getting another one on the board. 6 is starting to get feisty. And I'm loving this type of game. They're both so strategic minded, both sides. They're being proactive, they're being reactive. They're playing off of the utility. This is a game. This is a proper game.
Absolutely. This is what you want to see too, coming out from a team of their caliber. Both of these teams, underdogs in the making. Bang Bros just not really having any significant name that we have seen out in the past. They're completely brand new players that have worked their way up to the point where they can play in the round of 16s of a tournament like this. So take those edges and to refine it. That's exactly what they're here for. Make this journey and take it all the way up till the very end. It's gonna be a difficult one, but from what we can tell, the members of Bang Bros, again, it's a raw mechanical skill from a lot of these players that we are seeing. That's the biggest surprise. Before, we always used to say that mechanical skill-wise, the much more experienced players just had that edge, but nowadays, that's not really the case. Yeah, mechanical skill is a difference maker, but the way that they're able to carry themselves just as individuals now is just so drastically different, especially for Nyx. He's been hitting a lot of really clean, nutty shots, especially with that Sheriff round. That's gonna send shells down anyone's spine and affect the confidence of a team drastically, forcing them to play in a much more different fashion and maybe play a default that they're not really comfortable with.
30 seconds left.
Shadows traveling.
Let's go! Off your feet!
Take this! Gotta go!
Get out of the 3 position with Mikey, good for a couple, takes down 2 big players. Going for another peek as Leslie
10 seconds left.
Him out, but gets rid of himself. Time's running
Last
away, they're
player
trying to
standing.
push up Heaven, what are you doing? Get the spike down, but no leeway from Bang Bros. 6-4. They extend their lead now.
It seems as though Kirito died out for just a
What?
couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen, or is he back? Never mind.
Hello?
So we're going to be jumping
Did you
on
not
back
hear
into
me?
Ninja's roundup, as I expected him to finish his train of thought, but sadly that did not
Did you
really
not hear
happen.
me?
We are going to be going in for a little bit of a pause
Hello?
on a couple of those issues, but
Acknowledge me, aggressive. Can you not hear me? Is this a prank?
oh wait, no, it was my thing.
Oh my god, you did.
No, I don't know, dude. Discord just
Dude.
completely died for me for a second.
Dude,
There was no audio. There was no audio.
I was like, acknowledge me. Can you guys not hear me? What? I was doing the casting. I was doing the call. I was doing the shoutcasting, and he was just like, oh, he's dead. I was like, what? Did the last 30 seconds just not happen? But yeah, glad. I hope everything's okay now. And at least for the Bang Bros side, they are gonna be okay momentum-wise. Having won the few rounds in a row, they did lose out on the 8th round, but for now, they're holding steady. They're looking good. Economies, absolutely fine. They have their weaponry. The ultimates are building. They already have the showstopper on for a few rounds. And on the other end, Internet Esports, we see those potential. We see that they've worked out how the utility works. They know they can flash and then have teammates push in behind that. They know how they can utilize these abilities based on any situation in any position of the map. But when you compare it to how Bang Bros are using their utility, it's just not really working out. Both sides, they're pretty much on equal terms based on mechanical skill and strategic thinking, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty on the field, Zinderknight are making some mistakes that aren't being as effective, that are actually being quite effective in especially in the last few rounds. Despite having a pretty decent comp for an attacking half, things are not going their way, at least for now. But again, it's just a 2-round buffer. Could be worse.
In a way, right? Especially when you have a chamber on your team, the attack side is pretty much a lot more of a difficult side, unless your chamber is just cracked out of his mind. And that doesn't always happen. There's a lot of different variables that go into a good chamber player. And the thing is, Lesnoob just does not really show the qualities of having that chamber be utilized to its fullest degree just yet. But maybe I'm going to be proven wrong as soon as the defensive side rolls around. A lot of chambers are drastically different, especially on the defensive end, but this is dangerous here right off the bat. Ravage Lust. He's just playing so aggressively. He opened the door, mind you. The man just opened the door to create confusion, and he was able to live through that one. Ravage Lust again catches out the other player, Uzumaki, none the wiser for it. He gets his third. He tried to fade out his teammate. He's looking for more. The ace could just be a probability for him, but Uzumaki not giving that one up. The race just going bombastic here.
He could have popped the ultimate. I would have just allowed it just for that ace. Go for it, man. But I sort of admire that he didn't do it. He didn't pull it out so that he could actually use it and around where they need it. So yeah, claps out to him. He hit some insane shots, and
Last
that was
round
a
before the
really
switch.
impressive play coming out from him. I gotta say, individually, these players are looking fun to watch.
Absolutely. They're doing God's work out here. And when the plays hit it this close to home, it's exactly what you want to see. Return that they take and every shot that they take, just able to find these connections. And Bangalores, it's a pleasant surprise for all of us. Operator back in the hands of... It's actually Kicks instead of Nyx, never mind. Is it Nyx? Yeah, it's actually Nyx.
I'm out of here.
Little error on the
Dropping
overlay,
spike.
but it's fine. It's the last one. Spike's gonna go down. It's gonna be a 5v5 scenario. Ultimates available on both ends. Madhuhex won off that lockdown for the defensive end, so it's gonna be interesting to see what comes up. This flank though, look at how far Ambulance Bubble had to run, and he's still got a ways to go. He's got to put on his running shoes as the retake is already underway. They're going to be flooding in the site. Nyx is going to get the first kill onto his Mikey. It's not connecting, but the stuns do. Mikey is going to keep things flowing. Ambulance Bubble abandons his flank run. He's going to go and try and support the team on the front line, but they've all given up sight. It's going to get diffused, and it's going to be an 8-4. All of them were outside, and the players inside weren't able to make it again. Mikey, though, okay, 4K.
Remember, bullets hurt.
Just
from his perspective.
Nah, technically, this is padding stats at that point from Bang Rules, but this just doesn't make sense. Why are you playing off the side? Centralite, this is not old Lotus anymore. You cannot play the map like this. This is for like the way that they played that side hold was a map of Lotus that was, how do I put it? Back in, when did Lotus first come out? 2023, like at the mid of 2023, right?
I don't know, man. I'm too old. I'm too old to remember.
Yeah, that's the old Lotus. You can no longer play those side positions like that, and even if you do want to play for a post plant where you're off of the site, where is your player lurking towards B main? You cannot make plays like this because you're allowing the defenders so much free space to just flood in towards the site. You're relying too much on one or two side players to really make that difference for you. Doesn't really find the kill that he needs here. Tries to get himself back in towards the side, possibly getting another kill with the headhunter. Now hunting down multiple players. Good shot coming from Lesnoob, making sure that he utilizes the timing that he had to give at least a single advantage to his teammates. Before anything does happen, Ambulance Bubble, before the smokes come out, he's gonna be the one to die out here. Paranoia was perfect, slowing down the defenders to a crawl, trying to run in towards the side, but Nyx is not gonna give any space away. Good for the double kill, but still the defenders, they have a lot more to say about it. Positions, not really the best, but still, they do have a slight bit of an opening. They need to go in for the shots. It needs to connect here, and they're going to be able to find it. What the heck? Beautiful angle, and he's going to be able to take out two. These are the shots that you need, and the post plan, well thought out by the members of Bang Bros, 9-4. As the team, they've done their preparations for the map of Lotus, and they are here to take this win. That is the post-on positioning that you should always do on this particular map. No longer go in for the other one, because if you're going to play for main, that is a very easy spot to spam, even if you're smoked out.
And you gotta have all the utility in the world to be able to keep the spike going, keep the players off the spike from the attacking side. But that was some of the mistakes they did on their own attacking half, and that's cost them dearly. This round gap is slowly getting out of hand, and with that round lost, the economic advantage the Bang Bros are going to have in this follow-up, it's pretty much guaranteeing that double-digit situation. We are seeing the potential, those internet esports. They have this good composition, they have the strategic call-outs and the coordination to work with, but some of the strats they're coming up with, it's just got so many counterplays. Bang Bros are doing that absolutely perfectly. When you bring back that same level of play, as I was saying, the things that Internet are doing, Bang Bros are just doing, but they're doing it better. Can't be stuck in that same loophole constantly. Need to break out of it and find out ways that give your team the edge, the advantage. That's gonna be holding them back, their own defensive half. But now it's gonna be the lack of money. Less new though. I'm trying to be a little bit proactive with the headhunter. Knows there's a player there. Double swing with a stun is on the cards. That's a perfect counter. And so much respect though. The dash as well. They're pulling out all the cards just to clear out this C main area. But doesn't really be effective as Lesnoop can just TP away back inside the site. Deep in cover as they're gonna fall back. Aggression on the other end from Ambulance Bubble. Only with a classic, he's gonna jump swing. They know he's there. They might play off of this, but no. Bang Bros are they're gonna try and play off Waruhek, who's walked all the way into the side of A. Ravage Lust is now trying to keep this advantage there as he's throwing all the utility down the drain. Keep these players from entering the site. As the rest of the team joins in, they're gonna get the spike down for a 45 retake. Low HP on all these players of the defensive end, and this is just easy pickings for the side of Bang Bros. One by one they fall, and it's gonna be Mikey with the final nail in the coffin. 10-4. We saw this coming.
They think they're better than us.
I'm pretty sure the players of Zender Knight as well saw this coming, but now the thing is, what are you gonna do about it? You have the money, you have the weapons now. What can they do to counter?
It's just a big gap in the communication and what they really want to do as a team. There's a certain plan trying to be initiated on one side, while on the other end it's just a completely different phase. This 10-4 scoreline is really gonna hurt the members of Zentronite here, but one of the saving graces is the fact that they do have better weapons. Ambulance Bubble immediately swings out and takes him into his ambulance. Straight right to the hospital with 2 shots to the dome here. They're going to be able to retrieve the weapons here just a little bit, but losing out on both of your duelists this early on in the round. The Bang Bros, they need a different plan of entry, because both of the heavy hitters from the side of Bang Bros are now no longer in the server.
Yeah, absolutely. The new game plan is definitely on the cards. At least for now. Have a big advantage to play off of, though 6th round gap is not to be underestimated, and the individual potential these players hold is great as well, but this fire is going to be a hard one to break through. He does force Lesnoop off of the angle, isolates Ambulance Bubble, but he's not going to go down without a fight. Gets one, and Mikey's gonna
last player stand. 30 seconds left.
Retake force is underway. Waruhek falls as well. They know exactly where Mikey is. They should know he's not in the main area anymore. And 10-5. Second advantage comes in clutch for them, and that's a sign of light at the end of the tunnel. Can they keep this up? They are close to some of the ultimates now. Ambulance Bubble also got his Omen ult in the cards, but you never know. Only 3 rounds remaining for Bang Bros to finish things up. Can they manage 3 for Zentronix get their 5?
That's not ready.
They should be able to, because don't forget that last round, of course, was a little bit more of a bonus round for them. So here is where things will get the most interesting. How well are you going to be turning this one around? The team's ready. They're prepared. You already know that you have the advantage, so your opponents are not really in the highest of spirits, but Will you try to force this advantage by going in for a fast rush and underestimating them? This could have gone from bad to worse, but Nyx, he's able to get themselves back a little bit, but not by much. Immediate trade-offs coming in from either side as the members of Centronite immediately takes on both of the duelists. They have lost out on one of their players. The traits are present, but still, the members who are coming out on top are, of course, the defenders. 3v2 going to the opposite side of the map to try and maybe retaliate elsewhere. As Centronite, they have the advantage, but we have seen them in this position before. Hopefully, the corners will get cleared out. Doesn't really seem to be the case. And Ambulance Bubble once again just slips through the crack every single time. He is just the boogeyman under their beds. As he jumps out and takes those 2 kills, propelling his team over towards 6. Mounting a little bit of a good comeback, but still, unless we see a couple more rounds show through from the members of Centronite, I am not going to be the one to advocate this just yet.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot left to do for this team, but this is a good sign of things to come. Economy is gonna be at a low point for the side of Bang Bros, and tonight is looking solid on that department. This does beg to differ. How aggressive are they gonna play this? This is usually the case when you have a low buy round. To be a little bit more quicker on your approach. The chamber utility will slow things down. They are given the site for free, but ceiling area, which they should know of. Bangles, as the door was broken, they should know they're gonna come through here. Ravage Plus is able to find value for 1, but the trades are gonna be instant. Michael keeping his team alive. It's still a 4v3 situation. The ultimate is on the cards, and it will be used up immediately to slow the push down. Ambulance Bubble is good for 1. The flash to counter. Mikey is on fire. Ravage Lust trying to support him, but he fails. Mikey with a triple. He needs the 4K to finish things off. Wadu Hex as well standing with him to deny entry for Uzumaki. Does he know where the players are? He doesn't. Spots out Uzumaki, but does he know?
Come on!
That Wadu Hex in the same spot. He knows now 2 bullets in the chamber. The stun comes in to slow things down, but time's out. He's got to run away, and it's 11-6. Both players lose their lives. That could be a little bit more damaging to Bang Bros. They won't have enough money for a proper buy in the next one. Some of them should be able to afford that. Actually, they do manage to scrape by. That's absolutely fine then. They do scrape by and get their own full buy, and that's gonna be 1 away from match point. These rounds are getting exciting, and I feel like Centronite were a little bit complacent when it comes to the retake. They knew they had the weapons advantage, so they tried to swarm in and take more individual fights, but where are Mikey especially was able to just pull through and get some critical kills. Ambulance Bubble coming in from CT. The other players coming in from that C-Lint as well. Like that spots a bit of a kryptonite for Centronite. Every time Bang Bros have gone B and hid in that area in C-Link, the little room with the door, haven't been able to really, take care of the players in there. That's my observation.
Just going to wait and see where they're gonna go in after this one. 1 minute left on the clock as the members of Bang Bros are showing a lot of respect over to Centronite, even though they have a couple of significant bits of information going into this round. 2 players already in a pretty tight angle. Uzumaki in the corner, he needs to get cleared out soon. They have the sounds, they have the killjoy locked on as well, to give them the space that they need to go in for this hit. 1 player in around the corner. He tries to run away, but Nyx is going to be able to find 1. Instantly gets traded out, and the defenders, they're going into this into a 3v3, but the attackers having full control of the site, they need to flood in quickly. Unless they do so, it's not going to be looking that good. They're waiting for the sound. The door is just about to open. He needs to be quick about this. Any opportunity or chances missed, it could just be bad for them. Stun is perfect. They're able to hold. They're able to survive. Timing is key. Ambulance Bubble, he's going to be able to find 1 of the kills around the smoke. And now in towards the corners. The players in the back, they were dangerous in before, but Uzumaki comes out alive on that neon. 11-7, ladies and gentlemen. It's Centronite. A beautifully well played out retake for them.
Not the fan.
And Ambulance Bubble's kill onto that player on C was pretty much the pinnacle of it all. That smoke was perfect from him. He was able to utilize that smoke and scale up properly to clear out the player that was holding from inside of the box. If he missed that kill, mind you, Kirito, that could have been all but over.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, the support for the players inside from C main was absolutely critical to keep that spike ticking. And I was wondering what Ambulance Bubbles was gonna do after that flash. Is he gonna TP around somewhere? Is he gonna smoke himself? And that's what he ended up doing. Creating coverage for him to walk out and play around that smoke against Uzumaki. He's been doing some interesting stuff on that Omen. As a fellow Omen myself, but I haven't played this game in like 4 months.
Sad boy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you do play Valorant on a regular basis, it's fun. It can be fun sometimes. Yes, we do see Wadu Heck and what the hell? Ravage Lust through nothing gets a frag onto the fade through the smoke with the sheriff on the dome. Won't be able to get any weapons though, as his body is out in the middle of the B side. But Rakushona is able to follow up on to kill less noob. He's gonna be using the ultimate to get that spike inside the site and get that plan going. Bladestorm is popped by Nyx. He's gonna try and make his way. Oh, to see main. That is so good. Uzumaki doesn't clear it out. He does get one kill onto Nyx. Uzumaki bros are gonna die out to the Bladestorm. He knows there's one more player there. He sees the Omen smoke. Ambulance Bubble low on HP. Gets absolutely domed. And that round goes in favor of Angbros. 12-7. One off.
Match point.
One off the victory. One off a ticket to quarterfinals. And that was so smartly played from Nyx. He held his ground. He didn't take the fights to the Neon. He knew that it would be more effective to hold out. Well done from his end. Giving his team some leeway, some money to work with, and attacking up on the hands of Nyx. Meanwhile, a lot of ultimates though present tonight, so not counting them out yet. Considering Uzumaki doesn't bought a gun, he's probably going to be using the overdrive to shoot out of the main. That is exactly what he's doing. Omen blind to pair with. He's good for one, but Rakushona cancels and a follow with HP to spare. Nyx as well getting one more Ravage loss, and it's in a matter of seconds. It's all on to Les Noob, who has nothing to work with other than a Vandal and some Headhunter shots. Two off of his tour de force. The seaside is completely open. How did they manage to counter that? Just sheer gunplay against the Neon ultimate. Just sheer mechanical gunplay. They're even predicting him from the flank. I don't think so. Ravage Lust will fall to that, but it's still a 1v2 and a very difficult one. And next to just say, nah, let's get this over with. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and with the last op shot of the game finishes things off. And that's it. That's the round of 16 for you.
This is just a very strange ploy from them as well. I do get it. You wanted to go in for a very aggressive rush. You know the Omen's last position, but you can't just run up to him like that. Even though you gave him a paranoia, the guy still can shoot you. He's not stunned out. He's not completely blinded.
He's not flashed. He's short-sighted. That's why I tell players every time they throw an Omen flash and think that they can just own the players. They're short-sighted. They can still see you if you're at that close range. Yeah, I think he had a stun as well, the Neon stun as well to use.
Yeah.
Didn't really opt to go for that.
Exactly. It's plays like this that can really break you down as an individual player. And you could tell that a couple of these rounds, they had good momentum going into it. They had the right idea. But when it came down to that overall execution, just coming together as a team and communicating to one another what they really wanted to do, they just fell short there. The comms were not clear. And it was very apparent to us when we were looking at this team that not all of them were on the same page. They were each doing their own individual thing, and at certain moments, yeah, it worked out. Ambulance Babu was able to make a lot of very solo plays, mind you. He played an Omen like an Omen would in a ranked setting, but he didn't really play it well enough to be in a well-coordinated team, which was one of the biggest problems, I would say, for this particular roster. It's not really the worst of things, I would say, but it's just, how do I put it? Individually, when it comes down to raw mechanical skill, I don't think both of these teams are very far apart. It's the way that they were able to carry themselves forward. Yeah, Ravage Lust hit a couple of really nutty shots, but he hit those nutty shots because he was in a very advantageous angle. He was able to set himself up for those kind of kills. You had utility. You opted to not use any utility, peek into him, and you expected to get that kill regardless. That just is a sign of ego that, yeah, having an ego as a player is a good thing. It forces you to become better as an individual and gives you that confidence, but you need to know when to rein it in and utilize utility to get that one step up against these opponents who, of course, you already gave a confident start to. And you can see, looking at the scorecards as well, Ambulance Bubble, he played really well, 17-15. He is the MVP for his own team. But Nyx, when he had that operator in his hand, he looked absolutely unstoppable.
And I gotta say, every single player on this matchup had that individual mechanical talent. We did say they're not that far off from each other. We saw some cool Sheriff shots. We saw them coming into ecos with Stingers and Buckies and Sheriffs and maybe even using the Bladestorm. Nyx, the last round on that Bladestorm was phenomenal. These players know how they can aim their way out of anything. And when you put them in a situation where they have to rack their brains and coordinate with another player, these players have the potential to do that. Even on the side of Zindan Esports, we saw them on that first half coordinating their utilities, using that Omen Flash and using the Breach Stuns really well. They had a agent composition that demanded them to be coordinated with the Breach and the Neon and the Fade, the Omen. This oozes coordination, and that was there, but just not on the same level. I mean, you have two Neons with the same name here right now. That if that doesn't speak about coordination, I don't know what is. But yeah, I mean, I think the second one is supposed to be Uzumaki the Breach, but you know, it does get a little bit confusing. Regardless, the sides, they have the right idea. That's the main thing that counts. Bang Bros definitely a little bit more refined. They definitely have worked out the kinks. They definitely know how to help each other out in very sticky situations and get out of it alive, not just using their individual talents, but using it synergized with each other. And that's what really separated them in a lot of scenarios. I have to still say, Zendernight, they did a really decent job. And this is one of the more fun games that I've got to watch because of these strategical heads butting each other and trying to come up with interesting ways to beat them. But in the end, the better team came out on top, and that is the team that's going to be heading up to the quarterfinals starting very soon. But yeah, it's a fun way to finish off the round of 16. We are down to 8 teams now, I believe. So things are heating up, and we're just halfway there. Honestly, not even halfway.
Yeah, not even halfway. The journey's just starting, ladies and gentlemen. The games are going to get heated up even more. And of course, as we get closer and closer to that semifinals and of course the grand finals, things will just get even more spicier. And hey, if you don't want to miss out on any of that spice, make sure to check out, of course, Inspired Broadband, because they're brought out, 3 tournaments at this point, and we could probably even go in for something even bigger here, because at Instinct Productions, we are always trying to improve. Yeah, we saw a couple of UI glitches here and there, but we're fixing them as quickly as we possibly can. And you can tell that the production quality day by day as the streams are going to be moving forward will get 10 times better. So make sure to follow us on the page, of course, to see exactly which tournaments we're going to be going out with more soon enough. But as we are going to be waiting a little while longer, let's just do one more thing. Check out all of the deals given by Inspired Broadband as well, because sadly, in Boshontara, I do not have Inspired Broadband and I have to deal with Dot every single day. Doing a lot of very...
names.
No, I'm calling out names, man. Until I get good service from Dot, I am not.
I'm calling on my local ISP right now. This dude is so bad sometimes, but yeah, we all know the obvious option here. Inspired Broadband has got you covered, especially, being gamers and all. They have that in mind. They understand how gamers work. A lot of them are not in that mindset. So it's great to see that Inspired Broadband having that gamer mindset in even promoting their services to tournaments like this. So that is nice to see. Other than that, this tournament is also powered by IGC Hub and obviously organized by Instinct Productions. And things are getting better. Things are getting exciting, and it's
absolutely
the only up. It's only going upwards from here. Things are only going to get better. Only going to get more exciting. So we are going to be taking our ending right here as we're going to prepare for the quarterfinals. So make sure to stick with us. Till then, we're gonna say our goodbyes. It's been me, Kirito. It's been a long day alongside me, Aggressive. Thank you for joining, and until the next stream, bye-bye.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna work harder.
Let's show them the meaning of fear.
Inspire Broadband. Internet, we make it best.
লাইভের সময় কানেকশন লস্ট? ইন্সপায়ার ডুয়াল কানেক্টিভিটি দিচ্ছে আপনার জন্য ডাবল নিশ্চয়তা।
Inspire Broadband. Internet,